All right, the next item we're going to move to our agenda is visitors' comments. The Board of Education welcomes and encourages the participation of its citizens in the business of the school district. There are 2 points in the meeting where visitor statements are scheduled. Citizens are welcome to raise questions or make comments at either one. Comments will be limited to 3 minutes per individual and cannot be combined. Please note the Board of Education will not answer questions or engage in dialogue during visitor comments. If a person would like additional time to address the board, such a request should be submitted in writing 48 hours before the meeting to the superintendent. In addition, the Board of Education is interested in receiving suggestions and concerns from members of the community. Any individual may make a suggestion or express a concern at the district or the school office. All suggestions and or concerns will be referred to the appropriate level staff member or district administrator who is most able to respond in a timely manner. Each concern or suggestion will be considered on its merits. An individual who is not satisfied after following the channels of authority may file a grievance under Board Policy 2:260, Uniform Grievance Procedure. Neither this policy nor the Uniform Grievance Procedure creates an independent right to a hearing before the board. For more details, refer to the Board Policy 2:230, Public Participation at the Board of Education Meetings and petitions to the board. Board Policy 8:110, Public Suggestions and Concerns. All right, seeing a lot of people here tonight, we're going to start working our way across here. I'm going to start over here. Anybody want to speak over here? Raise your hand and step up front here. I'd like to remind everybody you have 3 minutes. Each have 3 minutes, and we'll let you know when we...
I'll let you know when you have 30 seconds remaining, okay?
Okay. Have a seat. You can sit down.
They have to give their name back.
Ready?
Yeah, you got your name?
Ava Williams. I'm currently a senior at Riverside Brookfield High School, and I know that myself and many other students are incredibly concerned with the status of Joe Muso's contract with RBHS and believe that she's being forced to resign on incredibly unfair terms. First of all, as a student involved in the Stand Up RB protest this past November, the protest was solely student-led. We stood during Mrs. Muso's speech because we agreed with her message against discrimination and not because she had any involvement with us. Our timing does not change that Ms. Muso had absolutely no involvement with the protest, and to imply that any teacher was involved is blatantly false. Secondly, as a queer student, it saddens me to know that the administration has the audacity to say that her room is not a safe space for LGBT students. In all my 4 years at RB, I have never felt more welcome and safe in any other teacher's room. It is incredibly disheartening and hypocritical for the administration to encourage LGBT students to express themselves and then have them go on to condemn Mrs. Musil for allowing her LGBT students to call themselves queer. The recent remark in the Landmark about her class also being unwelcoming for conservative students is also blatantly untrue. In my experience, she has never shown any political bias when talking to her students in class. There is someone in my class who is very vocally liberal and can say some things that could be considered disrespectful towards our conservative classmates, yet Mrs. Musil has time and time again asked him to be respectful and tolerant of the views of his conservative classmates. Mrs. Musil has consistently shown neutrality in political discussions and shows nothing but care for all of her students. Ms. Smetana has sent the same word-for-word reply to not only concerned students but also to the parents. It is very discouraging to know that the administration will not take the time to listen to their students or parents of the students. This mass response suggests that the inbox was overwhelmed with emails regarding Mrs. Musil, yet no students have been called down to the office to express concern where it is needed. It is also disappointing that no other administrations emailed back students or parents, and infinitely frustrating to see the lack of response from the administration since Friday afternoon. I cannot think of another teacher I have met who is so kind and caring while also providing a quality education for her students. Losing Mrs. Musil would be a monumental mistake on the part of the administration, and in this they would simultaneously lose massive amounts of respect that they have from the majority of their student body. I sincerely hope that the outcry from both students and parents will force the administration to reconsider their decision. A school that does not listen to its students is a school that's destined to fail. Thank you.
Anybody else in that section right here wants to speak? Please step up.
my name is Francesca Perry. Hello and good evening to the school board. My name is Francesca Perry and I'm a sophomore here at RB. I'm here to stand up for a teacher who has always stood up for us. The first time I ever walked into Miss Musel's room, I felt overcome with the feeling of being welcomed. Miss Musel is one of those teachers who loves everyone and wants everyone who walks into her classroom to love and appreciate who they are as a person. Whether that's an intellectual, a free spirit, a stressed out teen, a reserved person, a member of the special services, or a member of the LGBT community, Miss Musel made everyone feel welcomed. Last year I was hanging out with a friend who stated specifically to me, "I hope you have Miss Musel sometimes in your high school career." Not only are kids excited to have Miss Musel, but she's inspired lots to become teachers themselves. She's a needed teacher at RB because she lets you be who you are. Her class is also a very open environment that welcomes students to express their thoughts and opinions about school or life. Miss Musel has influenced me in my life in many ways. Her persistence has taught me to never give up, her acceptance taught me to love everyone, and her happy and caring demeanor has taught me to find the good parts in every bad day. I can proudly state that Miss Musel has no part in the organization of the November protest. The protest was a student-led and directed to happen during the speech of acceptance after the president-elect election win. Instead of being proud of our school for standing up and speaking out, you're jeopardizing a teacher's career, one who did nothing wrong. Please consider to yourself whether or not you're not continuing her contract based on her upcoming tenure, or if you actually believe she had involvement. We deserve more than just a copy and paste answer. Thank you for your time.
Ready?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Hello, my name is Nicole Bajeric, and I am a senior. I'm still losing my voice. So before this year, I did not have the privilege of knowing Miss Musel or having her in a classroom. And this year, first semester, I did. And the first thing I was amazed by was her ability to relate to students who didn't like school and to students who did like school. And I think that's such an amazing thing for a teacher to gain respect from students who normally spend the majority of their school time in detention. So in and out of the classroom, Miss Musel supports every student of every race, sexuality, religion, and gender. I felt nothing but welcome and accepted in her classroom, and I know that almost every other student feels the same way. A teacher who cares as much as Miss Musel is an asset to the school and the community. I voiced my concerns about the current situation of her job at RB to the administration, and the reply I received was a generic formatted letter that included information about topics that I did not approach the administration about, and I was very disappointed with their response to my email, which was very well worded and concerned and showed how concerned I and a majority of the school is about this. I ask you to take this into consideration when reviewing Miss Musel for next year. Thank you.
Thank you.
My name's Sam Bloom, and Mrs. Musel is not only an amazing teacher in person, but she also coaches Special Olympics basketball and track. I've been with both programs and watched Miss Musel coach these kids. She has always amazed me, and as I aspire to be involved in special education, Mrs. Musel has inspired me to impact these kids' lives and to be a person full of love and compassion. Today, my best buddy posted on Facebook, and I'm going to read what she posted. She said, "Please support my favorite coach in the whole wide world. When I joined Special Olympics, she instantly filled my heart with kindness. By the time I knew that she would expect me for who I am. Until I met this heartwarming person, there is a million things that I can describe for who she is. She is heartwarming, happy, caring, trustworthy, kind, hardworking, helpful, and has a huge heart for helping kids like me when I am having a bad day. This is why Miss Musel is very important to the whole Special Olympics team. She loves coaching us. When I come in her practice, she's always has a big smile on her face. This is why I don't want to see her go, because Miss Jill Musel is a big part of my life." And then she also texted me during this meeting that she had a very emotional first period, and I said, "Why? What's wrong?" She responded, "Because I was worried about Miss Musel, because this is her one and only dream job, and I don't want her to leave it. And by the way, she loves her athletes so much. And now I'm just really afraid that she will be most likely get fired tonight, but I don't want that to happen to her, because then all of us will get our hearts broken. and torn, especially Eileen and me. And now I don't know what to do anymore. I just felt so sad this morning. I am really, really sorry, Sam, for acting this way to you, but we really miss her. If she does leave this lovely school that's named as RB.
Thanks, Sam.
I'm Lorena Hinojosa. I'm a senior, and I've had Miss Musel since freshman year. The only time I didn't was my sophomore year. From what my experience with her is that she took the time to get to know every single person, and she respected everyone's views, and she wouldn't let anyone disrespect each other. I remember that she every night, like when the kids she worked with and Best Buddies would visit or come by in the hallway, she would introduce them and tell us to get to know them. And I thought that was really important because she's just trying to have everyone cooperate and be friendly with each other, and I think it would really let everyone down if she were to be fired, because she worked really hard towards respect in the entire community.
Okay, thank you.
Do you mind if I get a bottle of water before it starts?
It's okay, buddy. Go ahead. Ready?
Yep.
Okay, go ahead.
Like the other students who spoke before me, I'm here regarding the termination of Miss Musel. My name is Sam Chavez. I'm a junior here. I've been in Miss Musel's U.S. history class since the beginning of the school year, and I believe that her termination is a wrongful one. A close personal friend of mine stood up in front of her class to come out of the closet to this class, saying that he was genderqueer. This is something that he had struggled with within his family, in and out of school. He had not done this with any other person, any other class, anything like that. But it was within Miss Musel's classroom that he felt that she provided a comfortable enough environment for him to do so. She is the teacher that sees everyone eye to eye, no matter political belief, no matter religion, anything like that. Everyone feels equal and accepted in her class. The slow kids feel as smart as the smartest kids, etc. And within recent days, I think that her termination is hypocritical, considering that an administrator used a public RB account to like a post posted by a porn star regarding masturbation. I asked that the administration board readdress the way that they see how teachers operate within the classrooms and the impact that they have on students. And I feel that nothing will happen with this administrator. That is all.
Thank you.
And then we're going to move over to the other side, let other people talk.
Hi, I'm Isabella Martucci. I'm a senior here at RB, and I'm lucky enough to have Miss Musel for 7th hour. RB claims that every student has a voice. I don't believe this to be true, considering how many students sent very thoughtful and meaningful emails about the situation going on, and they received a copy and pasted email back with no actual regard to the conflict. A quote from an email received was, "Please know that personnel decisions are always made with careful consideration by taking into account the entirety of someone's work history and performance, but the situation is now from this year. I hope, really hope, you're taking into consideration the respect and kindness Mrs. Musel gives her students and, along in her classroom and with everyone at RB. Also how dedicated she is to the Special Olympics team she coaches. RB will be at a huge loss without her. Thank you."
Thank you.
over this section, yeah.
Hello, I'm Maria Gonzalez, and I had Mrs. Musel last semester for Global Area Studies, and I have her now for Psychology. And I came in late to her Global Area Studies class, and immediately she made me feel so welcomed and so, oh, this is Maria, she made me just feel so incredibly happy, and I loved going to her class. I'm not one that really loves going to school all the time, but Mrs. Musel's class is what I look forward to. And now I have her for Psychology, and it is easily the best class I've ever taken. She's very informative, she's very fun when she teaches, and I just really enjoy going to her class. I struggle really, really bad with anxiety and depression, and some days are better than others. And when I went into her class one day, I was having a really bad day. I couldn't focus, I didn't want to be there. And I spoke with her after, and she just sat with me and listened. And no one ever really listens to me. They just kind of talk to me. And she really listened and really loved me well and made sure that I knew that everything was going to be okay. She made sure that I knew that everything was going to be okay and that she was here for me. The next day I went to her class and everything was better. And she had wrote me a card that said, I just want you to know I'm thinking about you, and I hope you're feeling better soon. Just remember that this all will be okay. And that was just something that no teacher has ever done for me. And she's truly an inspiration to me, and I know so many others here. She is the reason that I'm going into special education, because the way that she works with kids and kids with special needs is so incredibly inspiring and made me just commit to getting my degree in special education when I go to college next year. So I just wanted to put that.
Thank you.
My name is Kathleen Mead. I have a daughter, Colleen Mead. She's a sophomore. She has Down syndrome, and she is in the Special Olympics with Jill and John. Jill has been just unbelievable, including these kids. It was a worry for us to bring her here to feel comfortable with coaching and to leave her in their hands, and that's really tough for us to do. We feel so comfortable with her. We went down to state. My daughter went to state. She had everything planned. It was just wonderful. I just can't see the coaching who could take her place right now. I mean, track is coming up, and we're just very proud of her being the coach, and just the love and the mentoring, and she's just really a neat person, and I really would hate to see her go, because coaching these kids, it's not easy. Being a mother of them is not easy. Coaching is not easy. I just hope that you really, really reconsider, because she's just so special for our special kids.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello to the board, to the students, to the parents. Your courage, your integrity, your respect for your teacher is admirable. That you took the time to come here in a public forum to speak on behalf of your teacher is outstanding. That comes from a good teacher. And that not just Ms. Musel, but all the teachers here at RB. The teachers provide the quality for a school. The school provides the quality education for our students, and in so doing provides good community to live in. We need good teachers like Mrs. Musel. Good teachers are educators, mentors, and role models. Good teachers educate, validate, and inspire their students to be the best they can be. I've seen that here tonight with all the awards that were given out and with all the students who have spoken so far. Teachers have a spectrum of responsibilities for the development and well-being of the total student. One of those responsibilities is to facilitate awareness of social justice issues, domestic politics, religion, and worldviews in an environment where students learn to respectfully express their point of view and with that same respect to listen to opposing views. Such discussions can and should lead to higher level thinking skills, teach the elements of debate, critical thinking, perspective taking, and tolerance for the views and opinions of others. Some students may be moved to form or reform their personal perspectives, while others may exercise their right to take political action in the form of peaceful protest or silent demonstration. This is what education is about, inspiring our young people to think critically about the society in which we live and to begin forming their own beliefs. To think about the society in which they are building that framework for themselves now. This is what drives society to continually seek to improve societal conditions. That's what our students were doing in November. Our students are on the brink of taking on the responsibility of building the society of tomorrow. We need good teachers like Mrs. Musel to continue to educate and validate and inspire our students to be the best and most responsible citizens they can be. I reiterate, good teachers educate, validate, and inspire their students to be the best they can be. This I know as a parent, as a grandparent, and as a lifelong special education teacher. Thank you, and I hope you consider granting tenure to Ms. Musel.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we need your name for the record. What is your name?
My name,
Yeah.
Mary Slesher. I live at 128 Berry Point.
Don't need your address, don't need your address. Just your name's okay. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Dan Silvey. I'm the parent of a special needs son who's been going to school here for about 5 years. And I really don't know anything about this incident that happened or all this mess that's going on, and or her alleged involvement in it. All I can vouch for is her integrity, her honor, her hard work, her dedication. I see her touch the students, my student, every time that he's with her, and it would be a shame and a loss to the students, our students, the community, for something that seems so trivial and so unworth the type of action that's been discussed for her. I hope that people can show the compassion that she showed our kids and the dedication that she showed our kids and the understanding that she showed our kids. I just hope that you take that into consideration as you move forward. That's it.
Thank you, Dan.
Hi, my name is Sean Amador. I'm actually here to read a statement from a RB student named Carly Egan. But as I just want to say, as a parent of a kindergartner, I would be honored to have a teacher like Miss Egan or Miss Mosel, from what I hear and what I, her compassion is amazing. So Carly Egan says, as a student of RB, I wanted to input that Jill Musel has always gone above and beyond to be supportive of her students and is greatly appreciated teacher among the student body. She is an exemplary figure of inclusion and tolerance and has worked to make the environment of the school a safe and inclusive one for all of the students. Calling into question her quality of work at RB or in coercing her to resign on an account of mere rumors would be a significant loss of support for RB students and an insult to her as the outstanding teacher she has been in her time here.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Sarah Malone, and I'm a former student of Miss Musel and an RBHS alumni. I'm currently a junior in the nursing program at Elmhurst College, and as a nursing student, it's my job to advocate for my patients, and I believe it is also the job of teachers to advocate for their students, especially during times of social injustice. It is every teacher's hope that the lessons that they teach their students will encourage them to speak out against these social injustices, to ensure that history does not repeat itself. But it's 2017 and racism is still present. It is the job of teachers and faculty and administrators to ensure that schools are ensuring a safe place for all students, regardless of ethnicity or sexual orientation. And I praise the students who came together and showed that RBHS does not tolerate any acts of racism. When I read the landmark article that stated RBHS administration is concerned Musel creates an unwelcome atmosphere for conservative students and is too political, I was hurt. I understand completely the idea of teachers not imposing political beliefs on their students when relating to who they will vote for and other instances like that. But racism and protesting it have nothing to do with conservatism. It made me realize how much our educational systems are lacking in teaching lessons of ethics and morality. It is evident because there is a big difference between being conservative or being liberal and speaking out against social injustices. Human rights are not a political ideology. The definition of conservatism states a person who is averse to change and holds to traditional values and attitudes, typically in relation to politics. A quote by the prominent figure in social justice, Desmond Tutu, states, "If you are neutral in situations of injustice, you have chosen the side of the oppressor." Personally, I would like to be a part of a community where my peers, teachers, and their faculty speak out against these social injustices. Let's not allow racism and silence in the face of adversity become a part of our traditions, values, and attitudes that represent RBHS. I had the great opportunity to visit the National Holocaust Museum in Washington, D.C. with my college, and one of the most profound lessons I learned was that it wasn't that the Nazi soldiers were uneducated. Many of them had PhDs. It was that they lacked any lessons on morality. I believe that by losing Miss Musel as a teacher, that current and future students will be losing a great source of moral education. Thank you.
Thank you. Wrapping this up, I'm gonna let one more person go, and you're the person.
Hi, my name is Miranda Alvarez. I'm also a student that had Miss Musel 2 years ago. When I first came to RB, my first 2 years were very hard for me. It wasn't exactly a school I exactly felt accepted in. But once Miss Musel came my junior year, she was that person for me that accepted me. Even though she wasn't a student, she very much made me feel welcomed here in RB. She was basically a mom to me while I was here. I would go to her every day in lunch and we would just sit and talk. And the nice thing about Miss Musel was it was a very safe place. Anything she ever said always stay in that room. She was also very accepting of my views. I would consider myself someone who was a bit conservative too. Miss Musel never talked bad about me. She would always listen to me respectfully and respect my views. It's very frustrating that a teacher who's this welcoming would be this closed off by some rumors and allegations. Miss Musel also has stayed very professional this whole time. And I reached out to her. I even have a relationship with her now. And she has not talked bad about the board, bad about the school. She said, you can do what you want. But she always taught me to stand up for what you think is wrong. And I think it is wrong that she is being fired right now or not being considered for tenured because she was a great teacher. She's a great asset to the school. And everyone loves her. As you can tell, there's so many students here. She's not only exclusive to the students who are only in her classroom, but she's to Special Olympics students, to LGBTQ students, to everyone. I remember my class, I was the class of 2014, our class was a bit rough around the edges. I will admit that. And there were kids who I had in other classes who wouldn't show up to class, who ditched class, but they'd always be in Miss Musel's class. Because I knew she was somebody who understood about no matter what was happening, she was always there for us. And I have a question. As a board that doesn't seem very diverse, why would you want to get rid of a teacher who only accepts diversity?
Is that it? Thank you.
Is there anybody in the audience that wants to speak on any other item besides Ms. Musil? If not, we thank you all for coming tonight and giving us your comments. We're going to move on to the board meeting, rest of the board meeting, and go to discussion information items. At this point in the meeting, the Board of Education.
Is Ms. Musil here?
Oh, I'm sorry. Is Ms. Musil here? She was going to be.
No, she's not here. Nope.
All right. So at this point of the meeting, Board of Education members may request to add on additional discussion items. Anybody want to add anything on this side, that side? All right, let's move on to first have the bike path.
I spoke to the village of North Riverside this afternoon.
Kevin, wait a minute, it's too hard to hear you.
Oh. Yeah, she may be a seizure as well. It's happened before, so we took her. And her mom came and went with her. We did.
They took her away.
Her mom, we waited until her mom came before the ambulance took her.